Hi, my name is Thomas Astarita. The date is July 27th, 2017, and today I'm going to give an explanation of Article 3 of the Constitution. Article 3 is pretty short. It only has 3 sections in it, and it maps out the judicial branch of government. Section 1 of Article 3 states that the judicial branch of government must have one Supreme Court, and that Congress can, from time to time, ordain and establish inferior courts. Some examples of this are district courts or appellate courts. Appellate courts are otherwise known as circuit courts. Just a side note, the Constitution does not require lower courts, but states that Congress can add and remove lower courts how they see fit. Article 1 also states that judges hold their terms during good behavior. This means that judges all hold life terms until they are impeached by Congress. This is true in both judges on the Supreme Court and judges on district and appellate courts, and also judges on the Supreme Court are known as justices. The Constitution doesn't state how many justices are allowed to serve on the Supreme Court, but currently the number is 9 with 1 Chief Justice. Section 1 also states that a judge's salary cannot be diminished while they're in office. This helps judges stay non-political, so they don't have to match their views with the majority of Congress just to keep their wages. Section 2 states that judicial power extends to all U.S. cases, and that the Supreme Court can hear any case for the first time. This is known as original jurisdiction. The Supreme Court also has what is known as appellate jurisdiction, which means they can review the decision of a lower court. If one party of the case of a lower court disagrees with the decision, they can file what is known as a writ of certiorari, which is known as to be more fully informed. Once the party submits their grant, it has to be accepted by 4 of the 9 justices to be taken up by the Supreme Court. This is known as the rule of 4. Doesn't even say anything. Now, although it is otherwise not stated in the Constitution, the Supreme Court gave itself the power of judicial review through the case of Marbury v. Madison. This basically means that the Supreme Court has the power to declare laws as unconstitutional. Now, Section 2 goes on to say that all trials for crimes must contain a jury, except for those in the case of impeachment. This also says that all trials must take place in the same state that the crime was committed. Section 3 talks about treason and describes treason as either levying war against the U.S. or aiding enemies. Now, a conviction of treason requires at least 2 witnesses or a confession in open court. Now, Congress determines the punishment for treason, but there are certain exceptions to this rule, like corruption of blood, which means you can't harm the family members of the person convicted. And that's pretty much it for Article 3 of the Constitution. My name is Thomas Astarita, and thank you very much.